So we are back with another week of entertainment news. Took some time off to focus on some other things, focus on different types of content. Some movie reviews, some just random spurts of information here and there with different articles. I just recently uploaded a video discussing the so-called PS5 exclusives that are also coming to PS4. That was the last thing I uploaded. But we are back. Mike, this is an interesting week because it is the eve of the week of E3. E3 is rolling around next week. I'm not expecting too much from E3. I know they already released their schedule and everything, and we're going to talk a little bit about that in this video. But starting off, according to IGN, these are all the big games that are being released this month in June. So let's take a look here. Actually, let me. I'm gonna play this.
I don't know about you, Mike, but I'm seeing a lot of garbage right now.
The same.
The game that came out last year that is only getting a slight graphical boost on a new platform. I will be getting this on PC. Oh, 4 days from now too. That's some otaku weeby shit right there.
Yeah, that's exactly what that is.
Oh man, I'm gonna miss out on the new Ratchet and Clank. Shit. That's gonna hurt, man. That's gonna hurt. I think I'm gonna skip that. Where's Scarlet Nexus at? I'm gonna see what the reviews for this looks like. So, yeah, a lot of trash, a lot of nothing basically.
I have to agree with you. It's looking like a pretty dry June.
Now it's kind of different from like some of the last few years that we've had, but this is the first year of a new generation, so it's not surprising that things are a bit dry right now. The Ninja Gaiden remaster I'm definitely gonna get. That's gonna be a $40 release. Very interested to see what those games are like because I didn't really play them when they initially came out. Beyond that, Scarlet Nexus looks like it's the only game that could be worth it. But I want to wait for reviews because I'm not entirely sold on it. I saw some gameplay of it, but it had like too many QTEs and shit. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to take a little bit more of a in-depth look at that one. Of course I don't have a PS5, so no Ratchet and Clank, which sucks. But it's not like Rift Apart's gonna be too different from the other ones that I've already played. So, what are your thoughts on the list, or what was showcased?
Well, it was nothing to my taste. None of those genres I'm pretty much interested in. New Ratchet and Clank looks good. That's the only thing on the list that I can say that really piqued my interest. The rest I don't too much really care for at all, to be honest with you.
Yeah, unfortunately they made Ratchet and Clank exclusive to the PS5, so it is what it is. Moving on, it has been confirmed, and I mentioned this to you last night. Disney is already developing Cruella 2. Now, this is coming after 1 week of the release of the initial film, which we both saw in theaters. Yeah, this doesn't really surprise me, but at the same time, I mean, I don't really see the purpose of this, especially considering the first one was okay. It wasn't really that good. It really wasn't. I mean, like I said, it was just okay. And I really don't have much of an interest to see a sequel to this. But thus far, it has earned $48.5 million worldwide within its first week. Now, every movie drops after that first week, so I'm wondering, what the number's going to look like, after this weekend, and see, what it's at. And I don't know how much the movie actually cost to make. I don't know what the number was for that, like the production cost. But yeah, what do you think about Cruella 2?
Yeah, like you, I'm not surprised either that a second one was being made. Definitely already seeing this one was doing good in box office first week, so I'm not surprised they're making second. I'm not excited about it at all either. When we went to see it together, I thought it was a pretty average movie. Well, fell flat on a lot of things, and it just kind of bored me to death. It just was just too silly. So I'm not really too excited for this at all, and I'm not really interested when this comes out. I'll probably see what the trailer's looking like, and if that trailer doesn't do it for me, I'm most likely not even going to bother watching it.
Oh, you already know that the trailer's going to be some nonsense. What do you mean? Yeah, the same thing happened with Mortal Kombat. It's like the difference between Mortal Kombat and Cruella is that, Cruella was almost a bad movie all the way around. Mortal Kombat was a bad movie through and through. The only thing it had going for it was like the CGI, and even that wasn't too impressive. That went on to be successful enough to where they're gonna make a sequel. But the thing with Mortal Kombat is they kept the budget cost of the movie at a specific amount, and so it wasn't too expensive to make. So that's why it was able to recoup the money that they spent on it. Which includes like marketing costs, the overall cost of the production and all that, locations, hiring the right people to do their specific individual job on the film set. All that shit is factored in. And for Mortal Kombat, it worked for the amount of money that they spent on it. I'd imagine Cruella is the same way, but again, I don't know what the total cost that Disney spent on it. But anything that has the Disney logo attached to it is going to make money, guaranteed. Not surprised. Moving on to the next one. Photographer alleges Capcom stole their work for Resident Evil 4 and more in new lawsuit. I see these things all the time in the video game industry where people want to sue these video game development studios, and specifically like the publishers. It's happened a few times with Take-Two and Rockstar for some of the choices they made with Grand Theft Auto. I think there's been obviously a few lawsuits with the Cyberpunk situation, and Capcom they've been accused of a few things with the Resident Evil series. So in this particular situation, the lawsuit alleges that Capcom may have used hundreds of unlicensed photographs to create assets for games like Resident Evil 4 and Devil May Cry. The artist is called goes by the name of Judy A. Jurasek. She filed a copyright infringement complaint in Connecticut against Capcom. Apparently, they used her book Surfaces in several of their games. Didn't go to her for any licensing. Now, obviously, she would have to prove this in court, and it's not really likely that she's going to get anything. And to me, it's like, why wait all this time to, file a lawsuit?
Yeah.
It's Resident Evil 4 is an old ass game.
That's just her little GameCube days and all that.
Yeah, so I mean, she's had plenty of time to fucking file a lawsuit. Like I said, I don't think this is gonna go anywhere. I really don't.
Yeah, I've seen situations like this all the time too, so I don't know what's gonna happen, but yeah, I feel the same way about you. I don't think it's really gonna go anywhere as well. Like, she definitely should have been on this shit like back in with Resident Evil 4, and you just now putting this up now.
And it could be that she didn't catch it until now, but I don't know. I don't think that anything's gonna happen with this. But her lawyers are asking for up to $12 million in damages for copyright infringement. as well as 2,500 to 25,000 for each used photograph. Yeah, if you look at the comments here.
Yeah, 12 million is excessive.
If you look at the images, you could tell like Capcom did some shady shit.
Yeah.
When you go after a company for copyright, you better have your shit together.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you ain't getting nothing. Next up, AMC. I'm not sure if you heard of this situation. I don't really know much about it myself.
Nah, I haven't heard much about it either.
This has to do with AMC stock. This past week, AMC has seen its stock jump tenfold as retail investors jumped to buy a flood of stock made available by an investment firm. The firm, which is called Mudrick Capital, bought 8.5 million AMC shares valued at about 230 million, and then they turned around and immediately sold those shares back to retail investors who were clamoring for a bigger piece of AMC after a successful long weekend for movies like A Quiet Place Part 2 and Cruella. So people made some bank off of those AMC stocks recently. Is basically what's going on. Yeah, the stock market is tricky. Because it's never a guarantee that you're going to make money, and it's always a risk buying stocks from really any company. You really got to pay attention to the market, but quite a bit of it is luck. You know, there's a right time and place for everything, and that really sums up the stock market. You gotta pay attention to like what companies, like which companies are up and which ones are down. And then you gotta decide how much, if you do decide to purchase stock, you gotta decide how much money you're going to invest. Because what you put in is what you know, that's how much you're gonna get out. So it's very tricky. Whatever you put in, that determines, you know, what your payout's gonna be. Not sure if you've dabbled in the stock market, Mr. Mike.
Nah, not yet. Everyone always recommends it to me, but it always seems a little risky, so you never know.
Oh, it's always risky. Always. The movie market, actually, that's probably a good area, or a good industry, I should say, to invest in some stocks at this point, because movie theaters are just starting to get back into shape after the whole pandemic and everything. There's no lockdowns or anything. The country's opening back up, so yeah, now would be a good time to invest in some stocks in the theater business. So I'm not investing in shit right now. I'm not worried about it.
What? Say I'm on the same boat.
Have you ever been to an AMC movie theater?
Nah, never.
I've been to Regal. I've been to a Regal movie theater, but not AMC.
Yeah, I've never been to an AMC theater.
Huh. Oh, apparently Regal went bankrupt in 2002. I don't remember that. Yeah. Alright, well, moving on to the next one. Donnie Yen has been cast in John Wick 4. He will join Keanu Reeves, as well as someone named Rina Sawayama, some pop star. I assume that's an Asian person. The director of, longtime John Wick director Chad Stahelski, I guess he's coming back to direct John Wick 4. He brought Donnie Yen on board to play a friend of John Wick, and the character has a similar history and shares the same enemies. And so Donnie Yen is known for the Ip Man franchise. I think I've seen one of those movies.
You said Hitman?
Ip Man.
Oh.
Yeah, Ip Man. And so he's been in a few martial arts films. He also appeared in Jet Li's Hero. I wasn't a big fan of that movie. I think I only watched that movie like once, and it was years ago, and I was like, yeah, this is kind of boring. But he was in Star Wars Rogue One. I think he was one of the best characters in that movie. I think this was a good casting choice. Looking forward to John Wick 4. I think you said you only saw the first one.
Yeah, I'm not really a John Wick fan.
John Wick 2 is my favorite one. John Wick 3 was good, but it wasn't. I think they could have done more with it. John Wick 4 seems to be pushing it a little bit. I think they're going a little bit overboard.
Yeah.
We'll just have to see what they got. I thought the casting of Halle Berry was interesting in John Wick 3. So,
They had Halle Berry in John Wick 3?
Yeah, she had like some dogs or whatever that like attacked people in that movie. I'm wondering what they're going to do this time. They had John Wick riding a horse in part 3. I say they should play up the animal fetish for 4. Maybe John Wick fights some crocodiles or something. I don't know. All right, so one of the E3 showcases that's been announced. This is Square Enix's showcase for June the 13th, and they've confirmed that the new Life is Strange game, Babylon's Fall, will be showcased during their show. The new Life is Strange game, we took a look at the trailer for that several weeks ago, and
yeah, that shit was awful.
Yeah, that shit looked like some bullshit.
Yeah, I still remember that.
Yeah, that shit looked like something for some lesbians or something.
Exactly.
I don't fall in that camp. Yeah, I don't care about that. Babylon's Fall, though, I am very much interested to see that. I know you haven't seen gameplay for that, but oh, actually, they have it right here. Let's take a quick look at here. Yeah, it's been over a year since they showed this game off. I think this is still being developed by Platinum Games. Same guys who made Nier Automata, Bayonetta, and a few other games. So, yeah, thoughts on the trailer?
I'm not too interested in it. I think it's mostly the art style for me. I don't know. I feel like I've seen the game kind of a few times already.
It does look similar to Nier Automata, with the art style and the gameplay as well. It does look a little bit slow with certain animations, but this footage is over a year old, so don't know what the game looks like now. It could look a lot, very similar to this, or it could be much improved. Don't know until they actually show it again. So I'm gonna wait and see, what they have to show at E3. But no, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, you're straight. Yeah, you're pretty much gonna say exactly what I was saying, pretty much.
But yeah, that one I'm looking forward to. Apparently, they're going to have more details about the Black Panther DLC for the Avengers game, War for Wakanda expansion. I'm gonna check it out just because it's Black Panther, but I think the DLC's free if I'm not mistaken. If anyone knows different, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the DLC is free. I'll check it out just for that reason, but I'm not expecting anything with that. The game itself is still shit, so
there's no saving it.
Yeah, that's not going to change. Apparently, they're also going to show Neo: The World That Ends With You, which I don't give a shit about. Project Triangle Strategy, I don't know what that is. For Spoken, they could show that off a little bit more. I do want to see more of that, so hopefully that'll be there. And Final Fantasy 16, which I don't really have an interest in at all. So yeah, it's really a mix up with Square Enix each year. E3 rolls around. Usually their press conference is filled with a mixture of surprise and disappointment. So just gonna have to see what happens. Moving on. This is the actual E3 schedule. This notes what when it's taking place, what press conferences are taking place, at what time, on what day, all that shit. So on the 12th, on June the 12th, in 6 days, Ubisoft will have their press conference. I'm not expecting anything from Ubisoft. The last several Ubisoft games have been terrible, and they've been copy and paste, very unoriginal and uncreative. Ubisoft has said that they're moving away from the AAA model, and then the only AAA games that they really focus on is at this point is really just a handful of different of the same IPs that we're already used to at this point. Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, Tom Clancy. So I'm not really expecting anything from them. But their press conference is going to take place on the 12th. Microsoft and Bethesda is going to take place on June the 13th, and that's the one that everyone's looking forward to. Microsoft and Bethesda, they have a lot to prove, and this is going to be their chance to win over everybody interested to see what they have to show, if anything. What do you think about Microsoft and Bethesda's showcase?
No, they definitely have that one game. I think that's going to be revealed. What is it, Starfield?
Yeah, that's one.
That's the real big one. Yeah, I think that's the real big one that everyone excited for. I'm not sure what else they have on the list, but I know if that one's going to be looking good for sure, it's definitely going to be a big head turner for a lot of people. So I definitely think they're going to steal the show for sure.
Yeah, and it's not just Starfield. Now, I don't really care for this franchise, but if they announce like a new Elder Scrolls game, a lot of people are going to jump on board with that, obviously. Like Elder Scrolls 6 would be the next one. And they don't even have to show gameplay. They could just show like a teaser, and that'll get people excited. People shouldn't be excited for a teaser, but that's how it goes.
All right.
The main thing I'm looking forward to is like their first party exclusives, because Microsoft's strategy, they've completely changed their strategy from what they were trying to do last generation. Phil Spencer has moved Xbox in a different direction, and it's not just Xbox anymore. Like, they're not just focused on Xbox. It's a combination of both Xbox and PC. All of their first party exclusives is also going to be released day and date with the console version of their games PC. And so every first party exclusive that they have is also going to be available on PC. I'm looking forward to, particularly from what they've announced, I'm looking forward to Bright Memory. I think that's what it's called. That Bright Memory game. I think it's called Bright Memory Infinite, and Scorn. I'm interested to see more from that. And obviously, the Halo Infinite is going to be there. That's going to have a big showcase.
Oh, yeah. I've heard the reason updates they've been after the game has been looking good too. So I'm excited to see people's reaction on that now.
Really, because I've heard the opposite. I've heard that it's not that great.
Oh, really? Dang.
But I got that from a YouTuber. So yeah, that's not really credible information. We'll just have to see on June the 13th how that goes. But yeah, that's the conference I'm looking forward to. And we already spoke about Square Enix. Their conference is going to take place on the same day, June the 13th. It's just going to be later in the day. And apparently there's going to be something called a PC gaming show and a future games show. I'm not sure what that is. I've never heard of that. So
yeah, that future game show definitely has to be new.
Well, I guess they had to fill the time, because Sony has once again, I think this is like the third or fourth year in a row they've backed out of E3. They don't want to pay for the press conference, or to have a press conference, which I think is ridiculous. But
yeah,
because they owe a lot more to their fans, but it is what it is. On Monday, June the 14th, starting at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. if you live in the UK, the following presentations will be from Take-Two, which is Rockstar Games, Mythical Games, Freedom Games, Razer, and Capcom. And well, I guess that's the pre-show. And then Tuesday, June the 15th will be the final day. Nintendo, they'll have their conference. The only thing Nintendo could announce that I'd be interested in would be Metroid Prime 4. But Metroid Prime 4 has been in development hell for a while now. They actually had to restart the game's development, or that particular game's development, a few years ago. I guess something wrong behind the scenes, and they said, fuck it, let's just start over, which is not too common. But yeah.
Looks like Nintendo's currently in a drought right now, from what I've been checking out from them.
Nintendo's really been out of the picture for years. The only time people care about Nintendo is if a new Zelda game pops up. That's really it.
That's true. I don't even think they'll have any plans to show Breath of the Wild 2 at it, but we'll see.
Yeah. What do you think of all the press conferences and whatnot?
I mean, expecting a disappointment, I just want to keep my expectations low because we've been disappointed so many times, so I don't want to expect much.
Right.
I do hope that we get some good stuff out of it, but just from what I've learned with all the disappointments, I'm just going to keep my expectations low. It's just for the best.
Yep, temper your expectations. Best way to go, especially when it comes to video games. Of course, you have fanboys arguing which brand is better in the comment section. These bastards never change. All right, moving on. This I wanted to make a video for, but I kind of already covered the topic. But that's why I decided to pull this one up for here, because I did want to delve into this a little bit more. So Horizon Forbidden West, which is the sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn, this is coming out on both PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, and it's been confirmed that this game was developed on PlayStation 4 first, and it's just being upscaled to the PlayStation 5. So the graphical difference isn't going to be drastic. It's going to look great on both consoles. Now the difference is that, according to game director Mathis DeJonge, is that how you say that shit? I don't fuck.
Shoot, I'm not sure myself.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, according to him, the game director, he said obviously you can do a lot more visually with the PlayStation 5. Graphically, they have a different rendering technique for the underwater sequences in the game. They have better lighting, improved details in the environment. There's more definition, cinematic lighting, and different things like that. And the PS5 version apparently supports 60 frames per second, which is kind of pathetic. PC gaming, we're used to 120 frames per second. These fucking consoles are stuck at 60. Some people really take frame rate serious. And other people don't really notice the difference. When it comes to frame rate, I notice it when it really drops, when it starts stuttering and it becomes extremely choppy and shit. Yeah, that's when I notice it. But yeah, what do you think about the differences with some of these games? Because some of these upcoming PlayStation exclusives, they're just upscaling the shit to PS5, which is very different from Sony's approach in the past. Yeah, what are your thoughts?
I mean, as long as it still looks, which I'm sure what I already know, it still looks good on the PS4 and runs just as great. I wouldn't go out of my way to purchase a PS5 for it, especially as long as it's still running good on the PS4. We've seen some big differences, or not even big differences, like for example, the Spider-Man game being brought to the PS5, no damn difference at all to it. And it actually looks worse in some areas too. So I'm sure that the game will probably look a lot better on PS5. There'll probably be some differences regarding what they try to do with it graphically, but I wouldn't go out of my way to purchase a PS5 for it if I already got a PS4. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
It's funny you mentioned that, because there's a guy at my job. I don't want to say his name or whatever in the video, but because I thought he was a hardcore type of gamer or whatever, because on his desk he has Funko Pop figures of Geralt from Witcher and the power suit armor from Fallout. And so I walked up to him, I started talking to him, and he was like, yeah, I put so many hours into The Witcher and blah blah blah, and yeah, I have a PlayStation 5, pre-ordered it, bought it day one. I've been playing Ghost of Tsushima up on it, and I was thinking in my head, Ghost of Tsushima already looks next gen on PS4. alone.
Yeah.
So you didn't have to buy a PS5 to play that. Same goes with the Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
Same goes with God of War. I mean,
The differences are so small.
they're very minimal. If you look at like a side-by-side comparison for games like Spider-Man Miles Morales or like Horizon, like I guess the new Horizon when they eventually showed the comparison for that, or even Resident Evil Village, which just came out. Yeah, the differences are extremely minimal. Even like Spider-Man Remastered, the PS5 version actually looks worse than the PS4 version. And it just looks like they just raised the contrast and just make the game brighter.
Yeah.
Which doesn't mean it looks better. Yeah, I'm really not sold on the PS5 at all. I think Sony has really fucked up with it. I think it was released too early, and then on top of that, they butchered the handling of like stock. You know how many units they have in stock, and that's due to the components that they need to actually make the damn thing, and that's why they haven't been able to meet the demand. And here we are, 6 months going on 7 months later after the initial release, and you still can't walk into a store and buy a PS5 or an Xbox Series S or X. So it doesn't make any sense. This so-called next-gen shit is all bullshit, quite frankly.
It really is.
So,
and it's still going to be a struggle, even by the end of the year and in 2022. It's pretty sad.
It's gotten so bad that Sony has come out and said that they're redesigning the internally, not externally, but internally they're redesigning the PS5 so they can meet the demand and actually get more units out there. But it's just gonna be pathetic if 2022 rolls around and they still limit the consoles to only be available on the internet instead of like in person at a retail store like Walmart or something. Well, I'll just have to see how that goes. Yeah, there's that. Moving on, Jupiter's Legacy has been canceled at Netflix despite the cliffhanger ending of season 1. Now, don't know if you know anything about this show. I haven't seen it, but I've heard it's really bad. Jupiter's Legacy is a superhero show that just came out on Netflix, and it did not come out to great reviews. And apparently, it's an adaptation of a comic series. So yeah, what were you gonna say?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say I've never heard of it.
Well, yeah, that's what it is, and yeah, there's apparently like a laundry list of reasons why the show didn't really hold the attention or even catch the attention of its intended audience. Apparently, people just didn't like the concept or the actors or the fight scenes, and it's just a lot of different reasons. I don't think it reviewed as bad as something like Iron Fist. I don't think it was that, but it didn't really catch the attention of people that are out there that are into the superhero genre. When it comes to Netflix in general, I've noticed that like Netflix, they do something strange where they'll produce like dozens upon dozens of shows, and just about all of them get canceled after the first or second season. And like they only have so many shows that have actually withstood the test of time, like House of Cards, or I think Stranger Things is Netflix, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Yeah. I think there's probably one or two more that I'm missing that I'm not thinking about right now. Yeah. What are your thoughts about like Netflix and all these shows that they keep getting canceled?
I think they could really start to focus on more quality content instead of just putting a bunch of shit up on there. So, like, what's the point of just putting on there? You're just gonna get it canceled. I've seen a lot of shows like that just get that first season out there, and they just get canceled immediately. So it's like Netflix. I mean, it's cool they have a lot of content on there, but really, what's the point if it's not quality content that you're gonna come back and watch, and it's not gonna be there in the long term? It's just throwing a bunch of shit up on there, and it's just messy. So yeah, I think that's what Netflix needs to focus on more. It's pretty difficult too with so much content being produced now and how easy it is to produce all this content. So yeah, that's how I feel on it.
Yeah, and the thing is, like Netflix, before Netflix didn't have any competition, but now they do. You know, now people have choices. You have Paramount Plus. I think it's called Paramount Plus. You have Amazon Prime Video. You have Hulu. You have Disney Plus, HBO Max. And then you had all your premium channels like Showtime, Cinemax, you know, HBO. So it's like there's just so much that's out there between streaming services and premium television that, you know, Netflix isn't really, it's not really the only option anymore. So yeah, they got to do a better job. But as far as this show goes, I'm interested to see like the first two episodes to see what everyone's been talking about, because I've heard some bad things about this show, so I have to check it out sometime soon. Moving on, Chris Hemsworth. I think he posted a photo. God damn! What the fuck?
It's huge. It's like freakish huge.
He's going into the Rock territory, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bit insane right there. And to the left is Taika Waititi, who directed Thor 3, Thor Ragnarok. Yeah, he posted that on Twitter. It's funny because Chris Hemsworth, he knows that no one cares about him outside of the Marvel movies, so he's really trying to ride this role for as long as he can. Because no one gives a shit about Chris Hemsworth outside the MCU. That's why his other movies, like that hacker movie that he did, I think back in 2015, Black Mass. Yeah, that shit didn't really that wasn't really received well. And then there was Men in Black 4. I can't remember what that shit was called. I think you saw that movie.
I didn't see it, but I heard about it.
Men in Black, was it International or some shit?
Yeah, it was Men in Black International with that one chick. I forgot her name.
I think it was Tessa Thompson.
Yeah.
Yeah, ironically she's also in the MCU. She was in Thor Ragnarok as the character Valkyrie. So.
Oh wow.
And she was briefly in Avengers Endgame. Yeah, that movie didn't do well either. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Thor 4, but not really because of Chris Hemsworth. I'm looking forward to it because of Natalie Portman. Natalie Portman has been confirmed to she's coming back as the character Jane from Thor 1 and 2, but she's going to be she's going to be what's the character's name? She's basically going to be the female Thor. So I'm interested to see how that goes. Yeah, Jane Foster and Thor, goddess of the thunder or whatever from the comics. And then Christian Bale is making his MCU debut. He's going to be the villain in the movie, playing a character called Gore the God Butcher. Christian Bale in a MCU movie, that's interesting. So I'm very curious as to how that's going to play out. What do you think of Thor 4 so far?
I mean, that cast looks real good. I haven't seen any of the Thor movies, but that cast right there makes me want to watch it.
Thor 1 was okay. Thor 2 was some bullshit. Thor Ragnarok was great, and that was mainly because of the director, Taika Waititi. Yeah, he's a great film director, and he has a great sense of humor too. So definitely looking forward to seeing what he came up with for this. And this is coming out next year in May the 6th, 2022. So they already got a date. Moving on, Dark Horse, the comic, I guess brand or whatever. Dark Horse Comics. They're starting a game division. To turn some of their famous comics into AAA video games. This would include their properties such as Hellboy, Sin City, 300, Umbrella Academy, and more. So this is very interesting to me, because what would a AAA Hellboy or Sin City game even look like? You know?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. What kind of gameplay style are they going to go for too?
Right. Umbrella Academy, I haven't seen enough of the Umbrella Academy to get a good idea of that. But then there's like 300. We already have a game that's similar to that. It's called Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Of course, Assassin's Creed Odyssey is some bullshit. So, yeah, I'm curious to see, you know, what they would do with their properties, because it's not like they're hiring a company to do this for them. They're creating their own shit, their own game division. That's what makes it interesting. Are you familiar with any of these properties?
Oh yeah, for sure. I know. Only ones I don't know are 300 and Sin City. But the rest, Hellboy and Umbrella Academy, I'm familiar with.
Sin City is the one I'm most interested in, because like I actually really like both of the films, the original and 2014's A Dame to Kill For.
Oh wait, yeah, that one. Okay, yeah, I'm familiar with that one.
I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. Now the last Hellboy movie, that was...
Oh yeah, yeah, I heard that one was awful.
I couldn't make it through that movie, dude. Like, I tried. I really tried. I think I turned it off after the first... Actually, before the first 30 minutes, I turned it off. I was like, God damn, y'all fucked this all up. Yeah, that wasn't anything special, but the like a Hellboy game, I'm down with that. You know.
Yeah.
We'll just have to see what happens. Someone mentioned Rockstar, Rockstar Sin City. I actually think that could work, but I wouldn't want like a big major game developer to make a game out of these properties. I would rather see like a new development studio. Some idiot wants a Souls-like Hellboy game. Hell no. Hell no. Yeah, looking forward to seeing what they do with that. Next up, Battlefield 6 will be revealed next week, and it's slated to come out later this year. And to be honest with you, I don't even know why I pulled this article up, other than I guess some people are actually interested in this. I am not one of them. I really don't care about the Battlefield franchise or any military shooter for that matter. Yeah.
I don't know why anyone would be interested in this one, especially after the last game. Multiplayer was fucking broken.
Was it Battlefield 4, right? That was fucked up.
I think it was called Battlefield 4 was real fucked up at launch. Then they fucked up that one up big time. I was like, I remember like a lot of people couldn't even fucking play. It was so broken.
Damn.
Like they were having all types of glitches, technical issues. Like that game was fucked up on release.
Damn. What about because there's Battlefield 5, and then I think the last one they released was Battlefield 1. It was like World War 1 or whatever. That was like the theme of that.
Battlefield 1. Yeah, that was the one I last played. Multiplayer, it got boring real quickly, and some of the maps it was just all people would do was just fucking spam those little I forgot what they were, those grenades or whatever. It was just fucking awful. It was like whenever I used to play one of the game modes, and everyone used to just always fucking hide in the building, and everyone just be throwing like gas grenades, all that mess. It was just spam. I just got fucking tired of it and I had to quit that shit. It was really awful.
The thing about these games and why I don't play them anymore is that like the multiplayer, people will find ways to ruin the multiplayer. Like they'll just camp in certain spots that they know that where they can take advantage of the map and shit, and just kill people without actually involving themselves in the game. and there's no penalty for doing shit. Like, so people will do that. They'll choose the strongest loadouts and basically invalidate the customization system and just take advantage of that. And then these game developers are lazy, and they usually won't add like bots to a game if people like quit. Or if they do, the bots are, you know, because it's AI, they're stupid and they don't know what they're doing, and it'll cause your team to lose. Yeah, I got tired of this shooter multiplayer shit a long time ago, man.
Yeah, same here.
The last shooting based multiplayer game that I really played a lot of was Halo 4. That was the last one, and then before that, Gears of War 2. Yeah, I got sick of the shit back then. That was 2008, you know. So
yeah, the only one I really liked was which I thought they did a good job on, was Rainbow Six Siege. That was pretty much the only one. The rest, it completely turned me off.
they can have this. I'm not buying this. So don't don't ask me to do a retrospective of Battlefield 6, because the answer is an astounding hell no.
Yep.
Next up, we have Crysis Remastered Trilogy, which has been announced for the fall of this year. I've never played the Crysis games.
Yeah, me same here.
I've never played them. I don't think I've ever even really seen gameplay of them. So, I don't know. Fuck it. Check out the teaser trailer. God damn it, I hate these goddamn advertisements.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, I knew they were first-person shooters, but that's it. It looks kind of interesting, but then... Oh, wait. Okay. Yeah, it looks kind of interesting, but at the same time, it doesn't look like anything I haven't played before.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
I don't know. It looks like one of those things you would have to try out for yourself.
Yeah, I know people, though, they like fucking big fans of this game. Never played it in my life, though.
Yeah, this is one of the ones that I missed. I might check it out. I'll think about it. But I don't do retrospectives of remasters or anything, because there's like no point. Yeah, someone's asking for a Dead Space Trilogy remaster. Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. That's a dead IP. Dead Space is dead. You ain't getting no remaster for that. You want a remaster, get a PC. Biomutant. Man, the reviews for this. My guy.
Heard it was a big flop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's on Xbox One. This is on PlayStation 4. You know, Sony fanboys they always try and be more positive for some reason. And this is on PC. Users and the fucking critics ripped this shit a new one. The review that I watched for this is Skill Up, and I don't even like Skill Up. I hate that. I don't like that motherfucker or his channel. But
yeah, I remember you talking trash about him before.
Yeah, I don't like that motherfucker. But with this game, like, I had to agree with what he was saying, because this shit look whack. That's why I didn't get this, because I was like, where's that coming from? But yeah, that's why I didn't get this, because it just looked like some bullshit. The main thing that got me with this is that they didn't, because a smaller development team developed this game, and they didn't have the money or whatever for voice actors. So what they did was they had the characters in the game basically speak like this made up bullshit language, and then they have a narrator in the game that narrates everything they say, and the narrator sounds like it's from like a fucking early 2000s cartoon show or some shit. That was a terrible design choice. I don't know what the hell they were thinking with that.
For as a game, it definitely reminds me of one of those OG Xbox games for sure.
That's what it looks like. Yeah, that's I'm not really sure what they were going for, or even who the target audience was for this, but this motherfucker right here, man, I can't stand some of these bitches, yo. Lately, I've noticed that many great games are getting bad reviews. You think Biomutant's a great game? Really? Have you? I wonder if this person's played any great
I heard
games.
it had some really bad issues.
Yeah, we're. I'll show you. I'll pull up Skill Up's review. We'll go over like some of the things that he was talking about. But yeah, this motherfucker definitely doesn't have good taste in video games. Some Final Fantasy X jerk off. Fuck Final Fantasy X. I hate that goddamn game.
I heard the world was pretty much empty. It's extremely repetitive. The combat's pretty awful as well. That whole narrator's annoying. The story, there's not much to it. All the NPCs, the interaction is really limited and just not interesting at all.
Oh yeah, it goes.
Bad things I was seeing about this game.
Yeah, it goes on and on and on and on. Well, I'm glad I didn't spend money on it. But yeah, I'll pull up Skill Up's review after we're done. And the last one is Far Cry 6. The narrative director says our story is political. It's just not focused on Cuba. Well, the thing I've been saying about Far Cry 6, it does look like a huge improvement over Far Cry 5, because Far Cry 5 was some bullshit. Far Cry 5 was a waste of time. This does look like an improvement. Like, you can actually see your character. Like, for the first time in the franchise, like when you go into like hub areas or whatever, they changed the perspective from first person to third person. And so you can see your character, and then like in cutscenes, your character, regardless of whether you choose to play as a male or female, the character has a personality. They have dialogue, and so it feels like you're actually role playing as someone rather than just playing a nameless nobody, which is what the case was in Far Cry 5. So this is clearly improved in that regard.
Right.
Also, like the combat system. Like here and there, you'll pull off certain attacks, and the game will briefly switch to third person. And we've seen things like that in Halo. They're doing that for Far Cry 6. Also, like the open world, they said like it's going to be like the biggest open world game they've ever made or some shit, and it's like the size of a literal country. I don't see how that's really a good thing, but who knows? Yeah, we'll have to see about that.
I'm worried about that. Because after what you showed me in that Assassin's Creed game, I'm like, no.
Yeah,
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I don't need any more of that. But yeah, we'll just have to see what happens. It releases on the 7th of October. Like I said, man, the last few Ubisoft games have just been dog shit. Assassin's Creed Origins, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I completely skipped Valhalla because I was like, I'm not doing this shit again. And then there was Watch Dogs Legion. That was just awful. I don't know what the hell they were thinking with that. This does look decent. It actually does look decent. And I like the fact that the story is, it feels like it's actually what happened. Whoa, what happened? You said something?
What you mean? Oh no, I didn't say nothing.
Oh, but yeah, I like the fact that it's actually they're focusing the story on like a theme, which is like it's more political. Some people don't like that, but politics is a thing. It's a part of the adult world. So I mean,
yeah, no escaping it.
Yeah, you can't run from it. I'm looking forward to seeing more of Far Cry 6, but because it's from Ubisoft, I'm not expecting it to be really any good. It's a wait and see with this one, but I hope that they'll pull out something great, or at least good. Yeah, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's possible this one could turn out good. Ubisoft goes on those pretty awful runs, but they end up dropping some gems sometimes. So it's possible this game could be that. I was watching the trailer for it and the gameplay overview. The world does look beautiful for sure. I can't lie on that. I was actually pretty interested after I saw the trailer. I wasn't a fan of Far Cry 5 or 4 at all. I mean, when I first saw the original trailer for Far Cry 5, I was interested, but when they showed that gameplay, I was like, oh no, man, it's pretty awful and just fucking mundane. But this one, I'm curious to see how it will turn out. I hope it's not that same boring basic formula they've been going for. So, but from what I've seen, it does look pretty good. So I'm hoping this one does turn out well. I'm keeping my eye on it. So I'm hoping it doesn't turn out to be bad and like the typical Ubisoft mess. So we'll see. I'm really worried about what you said about the map size though.
Yeah.
Because yeah, that's a big worry because you don't know if they're just gonna fill it with some just generic nonsense and just boring missions. So
that's the thing
we'll
when
see
you
how it plays out.
yeah, that's the thing when you make an open world game. It's like you gotta fill that big space with something, and a lot of game developers don't know how to fill a big space like that with content that actually feels like it has a purpose, and it's not just the same bullshit copy and pasted over and over again, or several dozen side missions on repeat. Ubisoft is one of the worst companies when it comes to doing open world games at this point. Like their whole philosophy is, bigger is better, and it's like, no, you gotta, you can go smaller and have more content, or have content that actually feels like it's meaningful and it doesn't waste the player's time. So it's a mixed bag with this.
Yeah.
I really want to see. I really want to see what they have to show for this at E3, because this is obviously going to be at E3. So I'm curious. Let's take a look here. Well, yeah, I'm still not fully sold, or really sold at all. Like I said, I gotta see more.
I'm with you.
Because I like some of the new elements, but at the same time, the rest of it does look like the same old, same old. So,
Yeah.
we'll just have to see what they showcase at E3. But anyway, that will wrap up the entertainment news for this week. Mike, what was your favorite article or news or what have you?
I guess I have to say my favorite article maybe was the E3 lineup. Yeah, maybe this Far Cry 6 article because I don't know, this one kind of got to me because I do love the setting so a lot, so I'm really curious to how this game will turn out. I can't lie, it's definitely on my list to look out for. I'm hoping it turns out good. I'm hoping it'll be like, I guess, a nice surprise like Watch Dogs 2 was for me because I had a lot of fun with that game. So we'll see.
Yeah,
What about you?
if there's anything that I can say about Far Cry 6 is that they did do a good job with the setting. The setting actually really does look interesting. That's one of the things that turned me off from Far Cry 5. I was like, this setting is kind of bullshit, It just feels like empty. It just feels boring.
Right.
Far Cry 4, like I was a fan of Far Cry 4 simply because of like the setting and everything, like the mountains and everything, and the wide lakes. All of that was very fun and unique. This Cuba, almost like a Colombian type of setting, is interesting. Yeah, I hope it does turn out to be something special. Yeah, as far as my favorite article goes, I mean, yeah, I'd probably have to agree the same as the E3 press conference. Looking forward to seeing what they have to show, primarily from Microsoft and Bethesda. So we'll just have to see how that plays out. Yeah, that'll wrap up the week, and hopefully we'll return next week.
Yeah.
Go over the news that'll come out next week. We'll definitely be doing some E3 coverage. I will be talking about like some of the or going over some of the information, the news that that was showcased, or that will be showcased at E3 from all the major press conferences. But I'm mainly going to be talking about the things that I found interesting, and I'm not going to be rating the press conferences or anything. I don't see the point in that. So, but yeah, we will be back next week. Any last thoughts, Mike?
No. Look forward to seeing you guys after E3 week.
Yep, and yeah, curious to see what they're going to show for sure.